Hey, everybody. Today's words to live by are simplicity, patience, compassion. These three are your greatest treasures. Simple in actions and thoughts, you return to the source of being. Patient with both friends and enemies, you accord with the way things are. Compassionate toward yourself, you reconcile all beings in the world. And those words are from Lao Tzu in the Tao Te Ching. And I will probably have a couple more from the Tao as we go along here. A quick sort of reminder before I dive right into this one. I think when I mention these like sort of spiritual quotes or quotes from ancient philosophers, I think the tendency is to sort of think that I'm suggesting that everybody sort of sit underneath a tree and just wait for life to happen and just have this sort of passive response to these quotes. And I take it completely the opposite. I think these are calls to action. And I think it's about achieving more and being on purpose and on meaning with what you're trying to do, using these three virtues to be more effective and more efficient in how we live. And so we look at simplicity, patience, compassion. So with simplicity, how often, I don't know about you, but for me, how often do we overthink things and overcomplicate things? And where a decision should be relatively easy to make, we sort of think of the five or six different ways that it can go before we decide, and we hem and haw over things when really a lot of the times the simple answer is usually the best one. And we end up sort of wasting a lot of time and energy thinking through all the different variations of what could happen and what couldn't happen, and we just tend to overcomplicate things. And so really I think this is really some wise advice from Lao Tzu in terms of just go back to simplifying everything and just be, and return to sort of the source, which is the ultimate in simplicity. Patience is great because I think as a younger person, I did not have very much patience, and I've had to learn that later in life. And I think the key here for me is just to always remember what Lao Tzu says about patience with both friends and enemies. And so, patience with your enemies is great because it's a reminder to me that anybody who doesn't see eye to eye with me, they're probably doing the best based on what they know or have learned themselves. And it might have nothing to do with me. It might be their education, their training, their upbringing, all of these factors that really I should have some patience with them to sort of align with me, or vice versa. Maybe it's my responsibility to align with them. But either way, I sort of have a different approach to anybody that maybe would have been considered enemies, in my past. I have a lot more sort of patience and sort of understanding, like, okay, this might not be as much about me, and it might just be based on what they know. It's like people do the best with the information that they have through what they've learned or what they know. Last one is compassion, and of course, towards yourself, I think is the real key distinction here, because when you're compassionate with yourself, you understand your place in the world in a natural way. So you don't try to sort of force yourself upon situations or upon people where it's not a great fit. You're compassionate with yourself to say, okay, this is where I fit, and this is what I can do within my talent level and my skill set and my intelligence level and all of those sorts of things. And so there's some real deep understanding that you have that you can sort of bring with yourself every day to sort of say, I can't be a jack of all trades. I can't be liked by everybody. I can't be, in a million different places at once. But here's what I can do, and feel really good and positive about that. So I hope you guys loved this advice. I certainly do, from Lao Tzu. And if you did, please like and or subscribe. And I will see you all again very soon.